Yeah. We got a bunch of them that are in the tub right now. We're trying to get them all healthy and ready to try to make a good stretch run here. But Dexter's just progressing. I think the biggest thing for him is just getting him some time. So obviously held him last week and not going to play him this week either. So hopefully he'll be ready to go next week. Trey's kind of the same way. Trey's much better today than he was Sunday. He's kind of getting better each and every day, and feel good about him and just his progress. And then Mark has practiced all week. I think he's still probably not quite 100%, but he is, getting back in the flow of things. Anybody else?
Kendall
is moving around good as well. He's made a lot of progress since last week. We hoped he could go Saturday, but this past Saturday he just wasn't quite there. And these guys, they're smart enough to know, when they can and when they can't. And he just couldn't quite do it. They don't want to hurt the team. They're not selfish in that regard, and they know that we got good depth. So. But he's made really good progress this week too.
What about Taryn? Did you cut down the cast?
Yeah, he's in a much better spot. Yeah, he's got most of his hand and a lot of flexibility there and range of motion. So he'll look semi-normal out there. You won't really notice a whole lot with him. So that's really good.
With regard to how Dexter got hurt, what's your general take on the line between cut blocking?
Well, it's hard, especially when you play in, option teams or really any teams that are going to climb to the second level, because sometimes it's, you got one guy that's job is to cut a guy, and then another guy is supposed to be climbing to a backer, but he ends up posting that guy. And so it's just kind of, there's some gray area in there, but, I think the refs try to do a good job, and we had a chop block called on us, and it was a legit chop. We chopped. It wasn't intentional. Fauci had kind of posted the guy, and Crowder cut him. And so, I think they do a pretty good job of calling that. But, it's just something that you have to deal with in this part of the game.
I heard something fascinating today. We've all been here for Clemsoning. We've all been here for Clemson not getting any respect. And then today, listening to some of the shows talk about the rankings, they say there's now Clemson bias. Clemson gets a pass. Clemson, they just get a pass no matter what happens. Can you believe that it is finally to that point that there is a Clemson Alabama bias?
Man, that's beautiful. Boy, we've come a long way. Yeah, now we don't beat Florida State by enough, and there's a bias. I think I'd ever live to see that day. I hadn't heard any of that stuff, but it just doesn't. It's the same for us. We just want to take care of our business. We know, regardless right now, whether we're 2 or 5. We're one of the teams that has a shot, and that's really our goal every year, is to just be a team that has a shot to win this league. And you got a chance to win this league, and you can figure out how to win the league. You usually will have a shot for maybe bigger things, and that's kind of where we are. So the rankings don't matter. I don't know why people get so worked up about that stuff in November, whatever, because it's going to all play itself out. You're going to play the games, and I could see if they were going to declare a champion this Saturday, but it just doesn't matter because we're going to play games. We're going to play Miami. Somebody's going to lose. The game's going to go until somebody loses. There's not going to be a tie, and so all these things kind of work themselves out. And you got other matchups as well, and that's what's great about college football. When you think you got it all figured out, you don't. We're just thankful that we're in the hunt, and we've earned it. It's not like we haven't played anybody. We've played a good schedule, and we've earned it. At the end of the day, you win or you lose, and there's not a lot of undefeated teams out there, and our team has battled all year long, found different ways to win, and so we're in position, and it'll all play itself out. But we're excited about it. This is a fun time of year, but it's playoff football. I mean, it just is what it is. I mean, you get it done, you kind of keep advancing. You don't, you're out from a big picture standpoint, and you kind of reset your goals, to finish your season. So that's where we are.
Coach Crowder is one of the seniors being recognized on Saturday. We don't talk a lot about him, but I remember him talking back in July about how important graduating was to him and his decision to come back.
Yep.
How important was his decision to come back for your team, and how proud of him are you for making that decision?
Oh, I'm really proud of him. I mean, he's like a big old ball of gristle, you know. I mean, he's just as tough as they come, and just I think he's been a great player for us. He's been a very steady guy for the last 3 years. He's really become a good leader. You know, I mean, I'm just proud of how he's grown as a young man. I mean, when I first met him 5 years ago, he wouldn't even look at you hardly. I mean, it just was so, you wouldn't say boo, nothing. And now he's really developed a great personality, and he's become a really good leader. I think he's taken that upon himself this year, which has been kind of fun to see. Because he's not a guy that likes to say a lot. His teammates love him. He's a great teammate, and I think he's, you want to see a guy maximize his opportunity and exhaust the moment that you have in college. That's all it is, a moment. I mean, it's boom, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. It's just a blur, and he's one of those guys that I think has really enjoyed his experience and just completely exhausted this small moment. And he's well prepared for whatever comes next for him, whether it's to have an opportunity to play at the next level, hopefully that works out, or moving on with his life. I mean, he's a very smart and well-balanced young man, very bright.
Going back, and this will be the last time I ask about it for a while, but I told her the other day that if you had taken David Hood back to that Orange Bowl after the West Virginia game and said, hey, at the end of 2017, all of this would have happened, I might have called you crazy. Did you ever waver after that in thinking that this was still going to happen?
No. It was just one game, I mean, I can go back to my comment, you don't let if you let one game define you, if you let one bad moment define you or destroy you, I mean, it's just really how you respond to things in life. I mean, bad things happen. Sometimes things just don't go the way you plan them. I'm sure everything's gone according to y'all's plan in life. Like everything has gone, like Larry, your whole life has gone exactly the way you planned it. Did you go to South Carolina? Yeah, so you probably thought you might work at South Carolina or something like that. Look at you work at Clemson. I mean, that's probably not how you planned it, but things happen, Look how things work out. It's amazing, And so, but it's how you handle those things, how you respond, and you get better, you grow. And we were a team that just had a lot to learn, man. We have a culture, a program. We're just in the infant stages of trying to get better, and if you allow things to develop you, then you will get better. But if you sit around and worry about what other people think or say, or disappointment in an outcome, you can't get past it. And you ain't gonna do nothing. And I mean, every great anything in life, whether it's a company, a football program, individual, they all got one thing in common, and that's resilience, perseverance. Because I promise you, they've all failed. They've all failed big time. They've all, but it's the resilience, it's the perseverance, it's the will to keep moving forward, it's the willingness to learn and develop. Let those things develop you. And but absolutely no, I never wavered ever. I mean, ever. We just back to work. What's next? How do we get better? And that was what was so great about the 2012 team, because we won 11 games. We took another step and we beat LSU, and we got our, we just just that experience helped us. I mean, that's not crazy to say. I mean, that's the reality. I mean, I don't think we're here today without that moment, to be honest with you. I think it all is a part of your journey, and that was just a part of our journey. That's just how I go about things every day. This year, I mean, I don't know how it's going to end. I mean, I hope we win another national championship. That'd be great. Wouldn't that be awesome? We'd be in 3 national championships in a row and win 2 of them. How awesome is that? Why not? You know, and that's how I think. That's how I dream. I mean, if we're going to dream, let's be extravagant about it, right? I mean, let's don't lowball it. You know, you never know. We might just do it. But if we don't, you know what? We're gonna pick ourselves back up, go back to work, try to get better, and go do it again. You know, it's just how I go about everything. I always have. I really have. I've never been any different. I mean, I've had a lot of failure, and a lot of criticism, and a lot of those things. Those things have never changed how I think. You know, so I try to tell these guys all the time, man. One thing you control. You don't control what you look like. You don't control where you're born or who your family is, what house you grew up in, or you don't control any of that. But you control how you think. You know, you control your attitude. You control your mindset. You control your drive, your courage, your heart. You know, you control those things, and don't let other people or other things take that away from you. And if you can maintain that, sooner or later, you'll break through in whatever it is that you're doing. So, you know, it's been 11. So what is it? So it was 6 or 7 years ago. 7 years ago. I mean, we've won a lot of ball games, but it's also a good reminder, you know, because I'm sure if you go back to that time and listen to all the talk shows, you look at all the internet reports, you read all the clippings, you know, it's just a reminder that, you know, you can't let those things paralyze you. You know, you've got to be able to stay focused, put your blinders on, and go about your business, because that's always going to be there, even when you have great success. I mean, we've had unbelievable success. I mean, there's really only one other team that's as consistent, and that's Alabama. We've won about, I don't know, a bunch of games the last 7 years. I think Alabama's won only maybe a few more. And so now it's in a different deal. Even when you have great success, the criticism is still going to be there. Just like when you don't have a lot of success. It's just the way it is. I mean, you give somebody a pot of gold, they're going, where's my silver? You know, when you give them a pot of silver, where's the gold? You know, I mean, that's just life. That's just how it is. And so you just embrace that, and you don't worry about those things. You just stay focused, and you have a set of core values that you believe in, and you let that be your compass, man, in everything that you do. And then if you're not successful, you can look in the mirror and know that you did the very best you can. And that's, at the end of the day, that's what it comes back to. The man in the mirror and how you think. So, you know, and that's why we're here, because we've had a bunch of young people that have come through here that have bought into that. And, you know, they've been able to do a lot of things that a lot of people didn't think we could do. And that's what's fun about this team, you know. I mean, they just show up and they just think they're supposed to win. And that's a great quality to have. And when we don't win, you know, nobody's panicking or pointing fingers, or, you know, you just congratulate the other team, you move on from there.
All set.
Good coach.
Go Cubs!
That's right.
All right.